All right, let's dive into one of the most fascinating and kind of mind-bending ideas in all of psychology, synchronicity. We're going to explore those moments when the universe just seems to rhyme, When something that happens out there in the world perfectly mirrors a thought you're having and what that might actually tell us about the nature of reality itself.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're thinking of an old friend you haven't talked to in years and bam, your phone rings and it's them. Or you get a song stuck in your head, a really obscure one, and you turn on the car radio and there it is. Are these just random little glitches in the matrix or is something else going on?
Well, for the legendary psychologist Carl Jung, these were definitely not just meaningless coincidences. He was convinced they were more than that. He saw them as clues, little breadcrumbs pointing to a hidden, deep connection between our inner world of thoughts and feelings and the outer world of events, and he gave this phenomenon a name: synchronicity.
So, to really wrap our heads around what he was talking about, we have to look at the one case that pretty much started it all. A moment so perfectly timed, so deeply meaningful, that it forced Jung to come up with a whole new way of looking at the world just to explain it.
Okay, so the story goes like this. Jung is working with a patient who is just incredibly logical, almost to a fault. And because of this, she was really struggling in therapy, totally stuck in her rational mind. One day, she starts telling him about this really powerful dream she had. In the dream, someone gave her a beautiful piece of jewelry, a golden scarab. Now, right at the moment she's describing this golden scarab, Jung hears a little tapping sound at the window behind him. He gets up, opens the window, and catches an insect as it flies into the room. It's a common beetle, but it has this brilliant green-gold metallic sheen, looking almost exactly like a golden scarab. He walks back over to her, holds out his hand and says, "Here is your scarab." And that single moment just shattered her rigid worldview and completely transformed her therapy.
And here's the kicker, the thing that blew Jung's mind. The dream didn't cause the beetle to show up, right? And the beetle didn't cause the dream. They had zero causal connection, and yet the meaning of that coincidence was just undeniable. Jung realized that our entire scientific way of thinking, which is built on cause and effect, had absolutely no explanation for something like this.
And that led him to propose something completely radical, what he called an acausal connecting principle. Basically, a whole other way the universe might be woven together, beyond that simple A causes B logic.
So what is it? Simply put, Jung was saying that just like events are connected by causality, they can also be connected by meaning. An inner event, like a dream, and an outer event, like a beetle at the window, can be linked because they share the exact same symbolic meaning for the person who's experiencing them. This chart really breaks it down perfectly. On one hand, you've got causality. It's a straight line. A causes B, simple. It's all about the how. How did this happen? But synchronicity? That's totally different. The dream and the beetle, they happen at the same time, in parallel. They form a pattern. And the question it raises isn't how, it's why. Why this pattern, right now, for this person?
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little mystical, maybe. But what's so wild is that Jung found an unexpected partner in one of the most rigorous scientific fields out there, quantum physics. And this is where things get really interesting. So check out this timeline. It's pretty amazing. While Jung is busy mapping the inner universe of the human psyche, you've got physicists like the brilliant Wolfgang Pauli, a Nobel Prize winner, who are exploring the outer universe, but at the tiniest, weirdest level. And down there, at the quantum scale, they were finding that the old rules of cause and effect just didn't seem to apply anymore. Pauli became fascinated by Jung's work, and the two of them started this incredible collaboration, because they were both convinced they were looking at two sides of the very same reality. What they both started to believe was this, that our inner world, the psyche, and the physical universe, matter. They aren't really two separate things. They're both part of the same world, and they're in constant touch with each other.
And they had a name for this deep underlying reality, the unus mundus, which is just Latin for one world. Think of it like the source code for reality, a deeper level where the separation between in my head and out in the world just melts away. This, they believed, is where synchronicities are actually born.
Okay, so if there's this one world, how does it work? How do these meaningful coincidences actually happen? Well, for Jung, the answer was in a language we all share, whether we know it or not, the language of symbols.
You know, I absolutely love this quote from Jung. He's saying that our minds creating symbols is as natural as a plant growing a flower. It's not some random, weird thing. It's just what the psyche does. It's programmed to do it.
So here's the breakdown, the mechanics of it all. First, our deep unconscious mind communicates using what he called archetypes. These are universal patterns, right? The hero, the mother, ideas of death and rebirth, stuff that shows up in myths all over the world. But, and this is the absolute key to the whole thing, these patterns, these archetypes, they don't just live in our heads. Because the mind and the world spring from that same unus mundus, that one world, an archetypal pattern can bubble up at the exact same time in two places, as an inner event, like the dream of the scarab, and as an outer event, like the real beetle. The magic, the synchronicity, is our sudden recognition of that same symbolic pattern happening both inside and outside us at the same time.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, the implications are just staggering. It really changes everything about how we see ourselves and our place in the universe.
You see, if Jung and Pauli were onto something, then synchronicity isn't just some quirky little psychological trick. It's like a crack in the fabric of everyday reality, giving us a quick peek at a much deeper, more connected truth underneath it all.
It suggests that this feeling we have of being separate, me in here and the world out there, that might just be an illusion. That the very same deep patterns that shape our dreams and our thoughts might also be shaping the stars and the galaxies. Our inner world is a reflection of the cosmos, and the cosmos is a reflection of us.
So here's where we land. The big idea Jung leaves us with is this. Maybe we aren't just passive observers living in a random, mechanical universe. Maybe we're active participants in a living cosmos that's constantly communicating. So what if the universe speaks in the language of symbols, and every now and then it speaks directly to you? What are you going to be listening for?